Pendleton!
But... I saw you.
Hands against the wall. I said, up against the wall!
You don't have to do this. We should help each other. This place, I don't know what it is or how we got here. But one thing
Just shut up! What the... Where did you get this? Where in the hell did you get this?
I just found it in these clothes. I didn't...
Is this some kind of sick joke to you?
No, I swear. I don't know what's going on any more than you do.
On your knees.
What?
On your fucking knees. You heartless bastard. You don't deserve to live. You're not fit to walk this earth while good, decent men.
I don't know who you think I am or what you think I've done.
Shut the hell up! You think this is funny, don't you? Well, let's see how funny it is with a fucking bullet in your head. I can't. I can't. I'm sorry. I can't do it. Go. What the hell are you waiting for? Leave me alone, goddammit! I'm sorry.
Hey there everybody, and welcome back to more Silent Hill Downpour. Well, it's good to know that Cunningham is at least physically fine, though she does seem very mentally distressed, and she still seems to have a rather nasty aversion to Murphy. Still no idea why, but maybe it has some connection to that badge she found in our pocket. Maybe we can ask her and find out a little bit more.
Hey, maybe if we stick together, we can...
Go away.
And sadly, no, as one might expect in her current state, she's just not that talkative, and... well, I think we've gotten quite enough of this Devil's Pit mining interior, so we might as well make our way towards the exit, and finally make our way into Silent Hill proper. Sadly, outside of a few moodily lit set pieces, there actually isn't too much left to the Devil's Pit interior here. We do run across a little bit of electrified water. I'm not really sure if this is meant to be a trap, but, well, if you are stupid enough to walk in there, you will take a little bit of damage. But out of the darkness and into the light, we are greeted by some roaring. Can only hope it's definitely not any more weeping bats, as, well, I don't think we're gonna fare too well with just a broken stick.
Murphy Pendleton, a lost soul on a stroll. You keep on keeping on, bro, and your pal DJ Ricks will do the same. Playing the music y'all want to hear.
And also, I think someone in the thread asked if we were going to be hearing any more from DJ Rick, or if maybe he was going to be talking to us directly. And it definitely seems like that is going to be the case. Also, we find the flashlight that we lost at that rather annoying bridge in the previous video, so no more having to deal with the lighter or a lack of light.
Off the road, somewhere I don't know. Still with you, it's gonna.
And also on the table over here, we do find a new, very important item, which is the map for the area. Yeah, this is going to be pretty much structured like other Silent Hill games in regards to the urban sprawl. But just as we have entered Silent Hill, we are immediately told we now need to escape. And as we take a look skyward, to steal a phrase from a nice episode of Clone High, seems that a storm's brewing. So, as one would expect from a mostly closed-down tourist trap, there's not too much in the way of the parking lot. I can almost assume that that one single truck is probably JP's. We do run into a bit of a barricade here, but thankfully they do give us a nearby hatchet. But pretty quickly we will be getting rid of it as we find an interesting locker here. Normally this locker would be closed your first time through, and it would ask for, I think, a 6-digit code, and this is actually where you would use your pre-order code to get some very spiffy weapons. In this case, I am going to be using the double-bladed axe, which is wonderful. And also we do get a ranged weapon. Problem being that I did drop the hatchet right on top of it, so let's just get that out of the way. Yeah, our special ranged weapon is actually the nail gun. If we take a quick look at that in the inventory, we'll see it has a very large clip, and it actually does pretty much the same damage as the handgun. Now, some of the other weapons you can get with other pre-order codes, I think, was a rifle and a more powerful handgun. But I think these particular weapons will suit us best for the rest of the LP.
Where is everybody?
Yeah, and now that we are actually into the streets of Silent Hill, we're going to get a first-hand look at just what we're going to be seeing for the rest of the game. Empty streets, barricaded houses, chain-link fences, and all types of... it's almost like a war zone, really. There's going to be plenty for us to explore, but a lot of it, in classic Silent Hill fashion, is mostly going to be blocked off to us. Now, to some degree, it might be reasonable to infer that the barricades and the bars everywhere is maybe some symbolism to Murphy's life in prison, but I've also heard that it might be from a continuation in the Homecoming canon, I suppose, that the monsters have actually overrun the town, and that the people had made some attempts to barricade themselves in and try to protect themselves. Either way, things seem pretty quiet and empty. But what we find here...
The ground is pretty soft here.
Yeah, this is actually our first step in a very long series of side quests. Now you might be saying, Niggeroth, side quests? What would they be doing in a Silent Hill game? And that's kind of a hard thing to explain. The actual storyline to Silent Hill Downpour is not that long, so they did attempt to pad it out a bit by adding in some optional side quests. Now the side quests have varying rewards, but this particular one will be very important to do. But before we get too far into that, it's time to show off the usefulness of the double-bladed axe. That's right, 2 strong attacks will take down a screamer, and that is why the double-bladed axe is so amazing. But we're going to put that down for a second because we do need a special tool to dig up the ground we found back there. Thankfully, most of these soft patches of ground that we will be finding have a shovel nearby, so we won't have to be holding onto a shovel for too long. And I do apologize, apparently once you get one of these items, which are called artifacts, they only will be spawned once, but in this case we will be seeing the rest of them, but that particular one was a radio in the style of the first Silent Hill game. All the artifacts are mostly callbacks to previous Silent Hills. But as for right now, we don't really have an idea of where to go. Mostly it's just a case of exploring, seeing where dead ends pop up, and just trying to figure out what the hell is actually going on. So your eyes did not, or your ears did not deceive you. That is indeed a police car. And even though we are convicts on the run, we might actually need the police assistance in this case. But before we get to that, there's actually an easily missed little lit area over here. You may notice it in that basement window. So let's go ahead and head in there. Now there are a few nice goodies waiting for us in this basement area. There's also a little note, I suppose, here. Talk about a missing child. Not actually sure if that's a reference to anything in particular, but maybe someone in the thread might know. We also pick up some more nail gun ammo, which we will be putting to use. Also, it's kind of faint to hear, but it really sounds like somebody's crying. We should probably help them, but well, if they're through here, I guess we need to find a key. Well, it doesn't seem like there's a key up here or anything to help us, but it also kind of seems like the crying stopped. And the door is now mysteriously unlocked. That's extremely odd, but oh hey, it's a new pistol. But it's also kind of a trap. Yeah, we get introduced to a brand new enemy here. It may be kind of hard to see, and that's kind of the danger. Yeah, you kind of see an outline and a shadow cast by the flashlight. That's not actually the enemy. The enemy is this mannequin right here. Yeah, this enemy is known as a doll. While initially a mannequin in shape, it's actually able to spawn out I think 3 shadows that will attack you pretty fiercely. And even though you can attack the shadows, which will inevitably cause the main doll to go down, it's actually best to go for the doll itself, as it has no active means of defense. And really, in the end, this entire basement area, though it does have the nail gun ammo, is more or less just a trap for new players. But back outside, we actually find a new mystery here. And this tells us about a young boy named Charlie Pendleton. As to what relation Charlie has to Murphy, we're not actually sure right now, but we will be finding out over the course of the game. Also, with all the side streets and alleyways like that, it's always good to check around every nook and cranny. So there, you never know where a med kit or better weapon might be sitting around. There goes that cop car again. At least I heard it, I'm not sure where it is. It actually goes on a patrol around the streets, and we are going to need to find it pretty soon. But since it doesn't seem to be in the nearby vicinity, there actually is somewhere else that we can check out really quick, which is down the stairs over here to the right. Yeah, it seems this part of Silent Hill actually has a pretty active subway system. We haven't actually seen a subway since Silent Hill 3, and I think that subway wasn't actually even in Silent Hill, so this is all brand new territory. We also find what appears to be an art collection with one particular painting that is of interest. And this is actually going to be for yet another side quest that we're going to finish up later on in the game, but actually there isn't too much we can do down here for right now. It's just a good idea to understand that the subway is here, and that we will definitely be using it later. For right now, though, I think it might be a good idea to finally chase down that cop car and get some help. Especially since we now have to deal with random encounters. Let's see if we can't take down the screamer. Or actually, I get the feeling we should run. That would definitely be the better idea in the situation, as 4-on-1, definitely not the best odds. And we finally see just what happens when we run into the police car. It will actually spawn 3 screamers, which is never, ever, ever a good situation. But it does give us our first real completable side quest, which is to stop the patrol cars. Thankfully, the police station is actually right nearby, which is what we are in right now.
these call signs?
Yeah, thankfully, not all these side quests will take the entire game to complete. This particular one is actually really simple. All we have to do is figure out just how to, well, call back in the police cars. In this case, we find a dispatch station. Looks like we have a series of letters and numbers we can dial in, and if we look at the nearby chalkboard, well, getting a medkit first to heal up on some of that damage we took. Yeah, we'll see that there is a series of 4 digits, starting our 3 digits and 1 letter. And all we have to do is figure out the missing letter or number. It's really not difficult. You can actually do it pretty easily through trial and error. But this is actually a really important side quest to finish, as this is not going to be the only area where we run into these patrol cars, and they'll actually show up throughout the entire game, and will actually cause quite an annoyance if you're just walking around the streets and suddenly have 3 screamers at your back. But with that, we have now gotten rid of all the police cars patrolling the streets. And there actually is a little bit more for us to get in the police station. First and foremost, we do have yet another mystery. This is just a little bit of a police report to show us that it seems the crimes in Silent Hill have progressively gotten worse and worse. Probably yet another very good reason to step up the security around this place.
Anyone, please? Can anybody hear this? I'm at the station. In the old clock tower. Anyone? I'm waiting, please.
Also, it was kind of hard to tell, but was that DJ Rick? Yeah, we also find yet another painting. We're actually going to need to find 5 of these over the course of the game before we can complete these side quests they're attached to. But with that, it's time to go back across the balance beam and finally make our way back through the streets. It seems that we have another new friend waiting for us out in the streets. Yeah, this particular gentleman is known as a prisoner minion. He's pretty much the closest we can get to just a straight prison metaphor in the game. And in all honesty, he's not really too difficult to deal with. He's pretty much the male equivalent of the Screamer. He does have something of a stunning ability where he will slap his hands together and cause Murphy a bit of disorientation. But the main difficulty, obviously, here is dealing with multiple enemies. But it does give me a good opportunity to show off how great the nail gun can be. And just how inaccurate I can be sometimes. But you may also notice that it has started to slightly drizzle. And that is due to the fact that the game actually does have randomized weather effects now that we are in Silent Hill proper. And anytime it does start to storm, that does cause enemies to not only become more aggressive, but they'll also just start to spawn more often. So sometimes in that case, it might be better to sneak inside any nearby building. But by doing a little bit of investigating on this cul-de-sac, we do find yet another little side quest.
Poor little guy. there any other birds around?
Yeah, it seems very metaphorical that we found what I can only assume to be the bluebird of happiness, and it did trigger what appeared to be a very Assassin's Creed snippet of media. Yet again, it does seem that we are being pretty much barraged already with quite a few side quests, but actually we are pretty much completely done with this area of Silent Hill. There was actually one little thing that I missed as I was going through the police station lot here, and that is an easily missed little mystery. You can kind of see it there by the tree. But there isn't much we can actually discern from it. It just seems to be, I guess, an evidence photo of a pair of footprints. But yeah, most of the available streets that we can possibly go down are, as you can expect, pretty much inaccessible to us. They might have massive cracks or similar things like that. But you may have noticed earlier when I opened up the map that there were some locations that had little question marks next to them, and those are points of interest for us. In this case here, it does seem that we have a little bit of a walkway leading across the street. So let's see if we can't get up to that balcony. It doesn't seem there seems to be any way up, but oh, magic shovel. What do we find here but an alien doll? Yeah, as we've seen through quite a few Silent Hill games, there are aliens throughout, and they do seem to be a running joke. But it does appear that there is a way to get up to that balcony, but well, it seems we're actually missing some available tool to get up there. Thankfully, right next to this bench here, we do find the tool we are looking for. Now, while this does look like a harpoon to me, I guess this is something of a poker. We can use that just to draw down the ladder and make our way upwards. Also, we find yet another mystery. Hopefully this one will be a little bit more informative, but it does seem to be another evidence photo. Can't really tell what it is, though.
Oh, God. Why are you doing this to me?
Seems, though, that Murphy might be able to tell what it is. But I think as we head over into this apartment building, this might be a good place to call it a stop for this particular video. And next time we will continue on with all of our side quests. We'll continue more exploring of Silent Hill, and we'll find out hopefully more about just what is going on with Murphy. So hopefully you'll join me then, and I'll see you next time.